My name is Morgan. I'm 28 years old, and 3 weeks ago, my father picked up my mother's wedding gift to me, looked at it with disgust, and threw it across the marble floor in front of 150 guests. The sound it made still echoes in my head, a soft, dull thud, like something worthless. Then he said the words I will never forget: "Garbage belongs with garbage." He wasn't just talking about the gift, he meant my mother and me. What he didn't know, what none of us knew, was that the old, faded passbook he called trash was worth more than everything he owned. 2 months earlier, everything still looked normal. My father, Richard Donovan, owned a mid-sized real estate company in Connecticut. Not rich, but comfortable. Mercedes in the driveway, Rolex on his wrist, country club membership he bragged about. His entire life was built around one thing: looking successful. Growing up, I learned something very early in my father's world. Daughters didn't matter. If you'd been a boy, he told me once, I'd have someone to pass the company to. I was standing right there, his only child. Still not enough. My mother, Helen, lived quietly in the background. She cooked, cleaned, smiled, stayed small, worked part-time at a library, which my father constantly mocked. What do you even do there? Count dust. She never argued, never fought back. For years, I thought she was weak. I was wrong. I just didn't understand her yet. I'm a third-grade teacher. A job my father calls wasted potential. That's where I met Daniel.An. Architect.kind.com/gentle. The first man who ever asked me how my day was and actually listened. We dated 2 years, then he proposed. Daniel's family was everything mine. Wasn't warm, respectful, genuine. His father, Harold Mercer, ran a huge real estate firm, way bigger than my dad's, but never bragged about it when they met me. They didn't ask about money, they asked about my students. I almost cried. No one had ever treated my work like it mattered before. The moment my father learned who Daniel's family was, suddenly he cared about my wedding. I'll pay for everything, he said. The whole thing, $80. My father had never spent $50 on my birthday. But now, he wanted a luxury wedding, not for me. For Harold Mercer, it was. Networking disguised as love. I should have known, but I wanted to believe he was changing so. I said yes. The wedding day looked perfect. White roses, crystal, glasses, string quartet, everything expensive, everything. Staged, my father acted like a general commanding troops, but my mother, she stood alone near the garden, quiet, watching, like she was saying goodbye to something I didn't understand. Why, not yet. The ceremony was beautiful, Daniel's hands shaking in mine, his voice soft when he said, I love you. That part was real, that part was ours. But during the reception, my father got loud, drunk on champagne and ego, bragging, exaggerating, his business, trying way too hard to impress Harold. It was embarrassing. And then came the family gifts. First, my father, big show, big speech, a $50,000 check. People clapped, then Harold quietly handed us a key, a brownstone in Brooklyn. He said, the room went silent. My father's smile cracked. His gift suddenly looked tiny. And that's when the MC said, from the mother of the bride, Helen Donovan, My mother walked up, slowly, holding something small, old, worn, .a faded blue passbook. She placed it in my hands. "This is everything I have," she whispered. "I want you to have freedom. That's it. No speech, no show, just love." It meant more than anything. I hugged her, and that's when my father snapped. "What the hell is that?" He stormed over, snatched it from my hands. "A savings book. This is your gift." Before I could react, he threw it. It hit the marble floor and slid across the room. Garbage belongs with garbage. 150 guests, total silence. My mother crying still. Apologizing to me. Something inside me broke, not loudly, quietly, cold. I walked across the floor, picked it up, brushed it off carefully, like it was glass. Then I said, loud enough for everyone, "Thank you, Mum. This is the most meaningful gift I've ever received." And Daniel and I left our own wedding. We just walked out that night. In the brownstone Daniel's parents gave us. I couldn't stop staring at the passbook. It showed an old balance. $847, didn't he? Makes sense. But Mum told me to go to the bank, so the next morning we went. The teller scanned it, then froze. Her face went pale. She called the manager. He took us into a private office, looked at me carefully, and said, "Do you know what this account really is? A savings account?" "No," he said gently. "It's the key to a trust your mother opened 25 years ago. You've been the beneficiary since birth." He turned the screen. Balance, $2,147,893. For one, I couldn't breathe. $2 million, my quiet, invisible, useless mother, had been building my freedom for 25 years. Monthly deposits, smart investments, an inheritance from my grandmother, all in her maiden name, hidden legally, protected every year on my birthday. She came to check it every year, for me. She even left me a letter. "If you're reading this, you found your freedom. This money is yours. Not your father's, not any man's, yours." I cried so hard I shook. She wasn't weak. She was patient. She wasn't trapped. She was planning. A week later, she left him, filed for divorce, walked out with a suitcase. Turns out, they'd been legally separated for 20 years. She stayed only until I was safe. He never noticed because he never really looked at her. My father called me screaming, threatening to cut me out of the will. I laughed. "I don't need anything from you anymore," I said, and I blocked his number. Business partners heard what he did at the wedding. Deals disappeared. Calls stopped. Nothing dramatic, just doors quietly closing. He wasn't ruined, but the world he wanted, it stopped opening for him, and honestly, I didn't have to do anything. He destroyed it himself. People asked what I'd do with the money. Quit teaching? Travel? Buy a mansion? No, I kept teaching, because I love it. But I started a scholarship fund in my grandmother's name, helping kids like mine, like me, quiet help, steady help, the way my mother did. My mum changed to cut her hair short, painted her apartment yellow, started writing a memoir. She laughs more now, real laughs, not polite ones. She finally looks free. 3 years later, I'm sitting in my kitchen. My daughter, Maggie is trying to eat scrambled eggs. Daniel's making coffee. My mum is helping. Maggie hold her fork. Sunlight everywhere, peace everywhere, and on the wall. That old blue passbook sits framed. Visitors ask how much money was in it, but that's not the point. The money mattered, yes, but what mattered more was what it represented. 25 years of quiet. Love, 25 years of planning. 25 years of choosing my freedom over her comfort. My father called it garbage. He was wrong. It was the most valuable thing anyone has ever given me, because real love isn't loud, it's not showy, it doesn't perform sometimes. Real love looks small, old, easy to overlook, but it saves your life.